As you sleep, you may be surprised to learn that some cooked vegetables, yes, common ones, that you may already have in your kitchen can help prevent and even repair aged eyes. I know it sounds too easy, but bear with me. I've worked with seniors for more than 30 years, and if there's one silent struggle that I find particularly heartbreaking, it's losing your vision, which makes it difficult to drive at night, recognize your grandchildren's faces, read a book or menu, or even read your own handwriting without strain. You may be afraid to go outdoors because the environment is beginning to appear hazy and fading, like a memory that is vanishing, or you may feel ashamed to ask someone to read to you. The unfortunate thing is that it frequently occurs so subtly that we are unaware of it until it has already begun to interfere with our freedom. Is that something you've heard before? To be clear, you are not to blame for this. Your eyes are aging like the rest of your body, but it doesn't imply you have no control over it. When prepared properly, it can gently nourish and heal your eyes as you sleep at night. That's what I want to show you today. It's been sitting quietly on your dinner plate. We'll go over 4 potent veggies, beginning with the obvious star and concluding with one that is unexpectedly underappreciated, yet might have the most influence of all. If this is your first visit, my name is Dr. Jason Hale, and the goal of this channel is to assist you in regaining your health, one little, scientifically supported step at a time. Please feel free to hit subscribe if it sounds like something you need. We would be delighted to have you. Let's now discuss the first vegetable that has been subtly protecting our vision for many generations, although few people are aware of the best ways to prepare it. Let's get started. You've probably heard that carrots are excellent for your eyes. But if you've always dismissed this as a folktale, I can assure you that it's not only true, but also supported by science, particularly for older eyes that have trouble adjusting to glare or darkness. The pigment beta-carotene, which gives carrots their vivid orange hue, is abundant in them. What matters is how your body uses this pigment. After being ingested, beta-carotene is transformed in your liver into vitamin A, an essential ingredient that directly contributes to the synthesis of the protein rhodopsin. The rods of your retina, the area of your eye that allows you to see in low light, are home to rhodopsin. Your eyes have trouble renewing these light-sensitive cells if you don't get enough vitamin A. Around that point, your night vision becomes fuzzy, headlight glare becomes unbearable, and you start to hesitate about driving, especially around dark. This is where most individuals, particularly those who are health-conscious, are surprised. You won't get enough of this benefit from raw carrots. Because beta-carotene is a fat-soluble nutrient, it is best absorbed by your body when paired with dietary fat, and is even more effective when the vegetable is cooked gently. Consider it similar to opening a safe. Tough plant fibers provide the nutrients found in raw carrots. Beta-carotene is released when cooking softens those fibers and breaks down cell walls. This therefore makes the ideal vehicle for absorption when combined with a healthy fat, such as ghee, olive oil, or even a small amount of butter. All of a sudden, you're feeding your retina rather than just a vegetable. This is particularly crucial at night. Why? Since your eyes are not constantly exposed to light stimuli and you are at rest, your body performs the majority of its cellular repair work at night. This means that as your eyes are rebuilding, your body will absorb, process, and use that vitamin A if you consume cooked carrots with a little fat for dinner. It is a silent form of assistance. No side effects, no pills, just food doing what it was designed to do. I recall Harold, a 72-year-old former mail carrier and proud grandfather. He approached me in frustration. "I can no longer see house numbers at night, Doc. I miss being able to predict my destination." We made a straightforward change. 3 nights a week, I requested that he have roasted carrots for dinner, topped with olive oil, sea salt, and nothing else. He returned 6 weeks later with a smile I will never forget. "I didn't have to squint," he continued, "because I drove to my daughter's for dinner." The street signs were clear for the first time in years. I had the impression that my mental windshield had been cleansed. That is the power of genuine food, real sustenance, real function, and, in Harold's case, the restoration of true freedom. Although they may appear commonplace when used properly, carrots can help you regain clarity and confidence in your day-to-day activities, in addition to providing nutrients. Carrots aid in night vision, but the next vegetable works even more deeply by lowering inflammation, which subtly harms your eyes from the inside out. If carrots help you see better in the dark, broccoli helps shield your eye's fragile structure from chronic inflammation, which is far more harmful. Although we frequently associate inflammation with joint pain or swelling, inflammation actually functions discreetly inside the eyes. It weakens retinal cells, destroys tiny blood vessels, and gradually robs us of clear, sharp vision. Broccoli is an effective defender for aged eyes because it is one of the few foods that naturally contains both antioxidants and anti-inflammatory chemicals. The macula, the central region of the retina that regulates reading, facial recognition, and detail vision, receives nourishment from its dark green florets, which are high in lutein and zeaxanthin. Like a lens, the macula can get hazy and damaged from years of exposure to light, stress, and free radicals. It is similar to the lens of a camera. At that point, symptoms such as macular degeneration, wavy lines, blurred central vision, or even black areas in the middle of your vision start to appear. The excellent news is now available. Broccoli contains lutein and zeaxanthin, which, if properly absorbed, can help slow down that damage and, in certain situations, support the regeneration of weak retinal tissue. Tough fibers in raw broccoli hold these nutrients, but when you lightly simmer it until it's tender, the fibers break down and the beneficial nutrients become accessible, meaning your body can absorb and use them. Even more beneficial is a small amount of fat, such as a dash of olive oil or a scattering of shredded cheese. The reason for this is that these nutrients require fat to enter your bloodstream because they are fat-soluble. This kind of moderate support can be a game-changer for older folks, for whom even a slight improvement in eyesight is significant. "I used to love reading, but now the words just float off the page," Gloria, one of my patients, once said. One small adjustment we made was to serve half a cup of steamed broccoli with dinner sometimes. She stopped reading novels a month later. But she also stopped squinting to read the mail, and that in itself made her smile. That's how mending starts. Slowly, organically, gradually. Despite its lack of ostentation, broccoli is one of your best buddies when it comes to defending your eyes from the inside out. We now go from the robust stalks of broccoli to a leafy green that is even more packed with nutrients that can save our vision and could be our best line of defense against permanent vision loss. Kale quietly holds the top spot among all the vegetables proven to improve vision. Although it may appear to be little more than a rough, dark, leafy green, kale is one of the most concentrated sources of nutrients that protect the eyes that we are aware of, especially for people who are most at risk of developing age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. The gradual degeneration of the macula, the core of the retina that produces sharp, focused vision, is what causes AMD, which goes beyond simply having fuzzy vision. Your life is impacted when the macula starts to degrade, not just your vision. At some point, even pouring a glass of water can feel like guessing, reading gets tiresome, and faces become blurry. If used properly, kale provides a strong line of protection. The same pigments that are present in your macula, lutein and zeaxanthin, are present in remarkably high concentrations in it. by protecting the retina from damaging blue light and oxidative damage. These pigments function as internal sunglasses. The majority of people are unaware that lutein and zeaxanthin must be obtained from diet, because your body cannot create them on its own. And kale, particularly when cooked lightly, provides them in abundance. While raw kale is high in nutrients, it also includes substances that, if consumed in excess, can irritate the stomach and prevent minerals from being absorbed. Because of this, briefly boiling or sautéing kale not only improves its digestibility, but also helps release the nutrients that protect the eyes from those thick, black leaves. Additionally, cooked kale retains its vitamin C and vitamin K levels, which assist maintain the strength of the retina's small capillaries and promote healthy blood flow to the eyes. I used to work with Marie, a 79-year-old retired librarian who had already lost some of her central vision in one eye. What's her greatest fear? She warned me that cancer would spread and that I would one day wake up without a clear view of my family. We made kale a part of her diet in the most straightforward way possible, 3 or 4 times a week, steamed, topped with olive oil and a little lemon juice to balance the flavor. It delayed the progression, but it didn't completely undo the damage. Once AMD has progressed too far, nothing can. More significantly, it made her feel in control and as like she was actively preserving her remaining vision rather than passively watching it fade. And that counts. Sometimes healing is about clinging to and fortifying what you already have rather than about going back. If you have been informed that there is nothing else that can be done, remember that your eyes are still responding, your body is still listening to nutrients, and kale may be the silent assistant they have been waiting for. Next up is a vegetable that many people ignore. It's mild, watery, and squishy, but it contains vitamin C and the modest support your retina needs to remain healthy as you age. It's simple to forget about zucchini. It is soft, mellow, and frequently used as a food filler. However, zucchini is a silent but effective ally for aging eyes, particularly those who are suffering from dryness, inflammation, or fragile retinal tissue. Dehydration is one of the most overlooked reasons why older persons have eye pain. Our bodies lose moisture more readily as we age, and we produce less tears. Pressure, dryness, and oxidative stress increase the susceptibility of the tissues behind our eyes, including the retina, optic nerve, and macula. This is where zucchini comes into play. One of the most hydrating cooked vegetables is zucchini, which contains more than 90% water. It delivers more than just water, though. Additionally, it has a unique set of nutrients that promote tissue resiliency and retinal health. First of all, it contains a lot of vitamin C, a potent antioxidant that shields your eyes from cellular damage brought on by aging and light exposure. The collagen framework of the eye, which supports the strength and flexibility of the cornea, sclera, and blood vessels, is also maintained by vitamin C. Second, manganese, a trace mineral implicated in retinal enzyme activation, is present in zucchini in a small but significant proportion. These enzymes aid in the processing of light and provide defense against free radicals, which are unstable chemicals that gradually deteriorate eye tissue. Additionally, zucchini still has a healthy quantity of lutein, even though it is not as concentrated as kale or broccoli. The secret is right here. Even elderly people with sensitive stomachs or poor appetites can easily consume it. Zucchini can be sautéed, steamed, or incorporated into soups without overpowering the meal or the palate because of its mild flavor. This makes it a perfect evening meal that fills you up without making you feel heavy, especially right before bed when your body starts its nightly repair cycle. Tom, an 81-year-old patient of mine, had been dealing with persistent dry eyes and irritation at night. Eye drops provided short-term respite, but the problem consistently reappeared. 4 nights a week, we incorporated cooked zucchini into his supper by gently sautéing it in olive oil with garlic and a dash of salt. A few weeks later, he saw a shift. There was less grit in his eyes. Before going to bed, he stopped massaging them. More significantly, he slept better. He said, "It feels like I can close my eyes without them stinging." That might not seem like much, but it might make all the difference when you're 81 and having trouble sleeping. While it can create the conditions for healing, zucchini cannot reverse visual loss. It helps keep your eyes hydrated, guards against internal tension, and gently puts nutrients where they're most needed. It demonstrates that strong backing isn't always necessary. The most comforting foods might occasionally be the softest. What if all 4 of these veggies, carrots, broccoli, kale, and zucchini, could be combined into a single, easy, calming recipe that would nourish your eyes while you slept? That's precisely what we're going to do. You've probably noticed by now how each of these vegetables, zucchini, kale, broccoli, and carrots, brings something special to the table. One protects against degeneration, another lowers inflammation. One promotes night vision, and the final one hydrates and calms. Here's the lovely part, though. They don't have to labor by themselves. In reality, they can become a gentle, eye-healing solution when mixed into a single meal and prepared properly at the right time. Particularly right before bed, when your body is in its natural state of rest and healing. I'm not going to present a fashionable superfood bowl or a sophisticated detox. Over the years, I've suggested this warm, straightforward dish to many of patients. The majority of them are in their 60, 70, and 80-second segments. I've heard the same thing from a lot of them. "I had no idea that food could accomplish that, doctor." This is how you do it. Begin with a little pot. Half a diced zucchini should be softened by gently sautéing it in a little olive oil. After that, simmer for 4 or 5 minutes to let the half-chopped carrot release its inherent sweetness. Then add a 1/4 cup of chopped kale and a handful of broccoli florets. Cover the pot, add a couple tablespoons of water or low-sodium broth, and steam for another 5 minutes, or until the greens are soft but still bright. Add a little sea salt for seasoning, and if you'd like, some lemon juice or turmeric for added anti-inflammatory benefits. All that's left is a bowl filled with strength, warmth, and gentleness. Packed with the precise nutrients your eyes need, it's simple to chew and digest, and arrives right before your body's nocturnal repair cycle. Just genuine food, prepared slowly at the appropriate time of day, without the use of expensive additives or medicines. Some of my patients decide to make a creamy soup using this mixture. Some people eat it with some rice or a slice of soft whole grain bread. There isn't just one correct way. Consistency is what counts. Even though the effects may be gradual at first, a little less stress and a little more clarity add up over time. Try preparing this meal just 3 or 4 times a week in the evening, and give it time. Perhaps most importantly, this small action transforms into something more than just nourishment. It becomes into a caring routine that lets your body know you're still here, trying and ready to get better. After working in medicine for 30 years, I want to share one last thing with you. A fact that I hope you will remember long after this film is over. If you've read this far, I have a very straightforward and genuine message for you. Thank you. I appreciate you staying with me through this talk because you care about your body, your eyes, and your future. I can infer something significant about you from that. It tells me that you haven't given up, and that's more important than any diagnosis. Regardless of whether you've lost your vision, felt ignored, disappointed, or told it's just a natural part of aging. In actuality, we do lose some things as we age. Silently, squinting more frequently, avoiding nighttime driving, losing color contrast, or need higher lighting simply to read a label are some examples. Sometimes it happens so gradually that we are unaware of how much we have lost and how much we have adapted. But I want to leave you with this hope. Care still has an effect on the body. No prescription there. For yourself and the life you still wish to see clearly, that is a small act of love. I want you to keep this in mind no matter where you are in your journey, whether you've just observed minor changes or you're dealing with a diagnosis like macular degeneration. You are not powerless. You're not alone at all, and it's not too late. Reversing what has been lost may not always be the goal of healing. Healing can sometimes mean taking one mouthful at a time, being compassionate, preserving what is left, and clinging to clarity and connection. I would love for you to take a small action if this message resonated with you today, and if it offered you even a glimmer of hope or clarity. To let me know you're out there, click like. If you want more natural and gentle strategies to support your health that are supported by science, subscribe. Additionally, if you know someone who needs a little brightness in their life and is having vision problems, please share this video with them. Finally, please share your thoughts in the comments section. Which of these vegetables do you currently use, please? This week, which will you try? Another reader who is debating whether it's worthwhile to keep trying might be motivated by your story. My name is Dr. Jason Hale. Until we meet again, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your concern. Remember that you don't need to make a big splash when you return. It just must start.